Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Richard,
And I'm Sid.
and we're a team of UFO researchers specializing in alien activity at military bases, UFO sightings, alien encounters, and we're your #1 source for all things alien related. And if we don't discuss it here, then you shouldn't either.
In this video, we are going to delve into the biggest secret Russia has ever held. It is not known to many that Russia has their own version of the infamous Area 51, known as Kapustin Yar. This base is surrounded in just as much mystery, if not more mystery, than Area 51 or even Hangar 18. And the lore around it is like something out of a science fiction novel. Some of you may have already heard about this base, but we doubt that most of you have. Kapustin Yar played a major role in the Cold War because it was where Russia created and tested their first nuclear weapons, and more importantly, played the role of their home base for the space race against the United States. Kapustin Yar was built under the specific instructions of Joseph Stalin and made to his specifications. It is commonly known that Russia was the first country to send an artificial satellite into space. This satellite, known as Sputnik, was an accomplishment Russia will hold over the heads of the US here in the US forever.
However, how did Russia manage to create such technology before the US did? In 1947, 2 years after World War II had ended, the Cold War between the US and Russia began. When this era of intensity, teetering on the edge of nuclear warfare, began, the Soviet Union was nowhere near developing their own atomic bomb and had very early stages of missile technology. At the time, the Soviet Union didn't have the ability to create smaller rocket-powered missiles, so instead, they opted to create larger ones, which is what ended up giving them the lead in the space race. The reason was that the US had the ability to create somewhat more miniaturized versions of the same missiles, and it allowed for us to focus more towards the use in warfare than space exploration. The Soviets and the United States both saw the ability to attack from space as a valuable weapon, and this caused the space race to begin.
Now here's where things get truly interesting. The Soviet Union in 1947 had predicted it would take 5 years to create their own nuclear weapons technology, and they would have been correct had it not been for an earth-shattering incident in 1948. In only 18 months, the Soviets had obtained their own nuclear weapons technology. They had achieved all 5 years' worth of their goals, and then some, in only a year and a half. Now you're probably wondering, how's that possible? How could any nation have achieved such large advancements in such a short amount of time? Well, the answer is what is known today as Russia's Roswell incident, and it's all thanks to UFO technology. It is said that on June 19, 1948, a weird object is spotted on radar by an air traffic controller at Kapustin Yar. At the same moment, a Soviet pilot about 10 kilometers away from the base had seen a massive silver cigar-shaped UFO right in front of him. He radioed back to the air traffic controller at the base that he is currently being blinded by a bright light emitting from the UFO.
From there, the fighter pilot, under direct orders from the base commander, attempted to engage the UFO in aerial combat, with devastating results for both parties. The fighter pilot combated the UFO for almost 3 minutes before finally firing a missile that somehow made it past the UFO's defense weaponry and managed to bring the UFO down. However, the pilot suffered the same fate and died in a plane crash caused by the weapons on the UFO. What these weapons actually were is unknown. The Soviets were ecstatic to finally have their own UFO and the ability to catch up to the United States, since we had obtained the UFO technology a year earlier in the Roswell incident in New Mexico. It was at this time when Soviet Union technology began to rapidly advance like one would imagine it would after obtaining an alien spacecraft.
Kapustin Yar is believed to be an underground base just like Area 51, which would make sense since they obviously would not want the Americans to be able to spy on their UFO research program from above. It also serves to prevent any unauthorized personnel from obtaining knowledge of their advanced technology they were obtaining from the crashed UFO and letting it leak out to the public, or worse, the Americans. The Russians were so secretive about this base and worried about information leaking out that a town nearby, Kapustin Yar, made the Soviet Union so nervous that they forced the residents of the town to evacuate, and the town itself was eliminated. The town was called Zitkor. The Russians decided that rather than risk allowing their own civilians to see what was being tested, it would be better just to remove the town entirely in an attempt to protect their national security.
There is also a belief that Zitkor also became an underground testing facility for crashed UFOs. However, this was more rumor and speculation than anything, and there isn't many eyewitnesses that confirm this, unlike the Kapustin Yar testing, which has been confirmed by ex-KGB operatives and high-ranking Soviet Union officials, just like our own Area 51 has been. The info always seems to leak out somehow. These confirmations give answers to how the US and Russia both became the major world powers at the time and how we obtained the advanced technology that we have today.
There is more to the story though. For a very long time before Kapustin Yar was even built, the area had been rumored to be home to countless UFO sightings. Some completely unique and simply so out there that unless you were to see it with your own two eyes, it would be hard to fathom what exactly went on there. However, the locals of the area had seen so many strange occurrences from these UFOs that the sightings became commonplace, and the people that lived there were at the point where nothing surprised them anymore. Some of these sightings go so far back that what we now call Russia itself wasn't even in existence yet. These stories go as far back as 59 AD, where the local people would claim to see aerial battles and huge light shows from these UFOs. Lightning weaponry, things completely unimaginable even today, and these aerial battles gave them the will to fight against their enemies.
During the 17th century, the area in Russia was reported to have a ton of UFO sightings, with the most famous one being when a fiery saucer-shaped UFO was spotted in the area flying above a North Russian lake, which was documented during the year 1663. The fiery disc supposedly shot out two beams of light into the water below, which caused fishermen to be burned by the object's beams and glowing fish to jump up out of the water onto the land to escape what we can only assume was high levels of radioactivity that were emitted by the craft. These sorts of sightings continued all the way up until the building of Kapustin Yar and the evacuation of local residents from the nearby area. This leads us and many other UFO researchers to believe that Kapustin Yar was built with the sole purpose of attempting suicide missions to bring down a UFO and obtain their technology, just like the US had managed to do, only we didn't embark on suicide missions to obtain it. In our case, it kind of just fell in our laps.
The biggest Russian UFO occurrence of all has to be the supposed comet that leveled the whole Siberian forest of Tunguska. In 1908, the supposed comet hit with the force of a 40 megaton nuclear bomb which devastated the area and was felt throughout Eastern Europe. However, rumors account that what really happened was one of these fireball UFOs crashed into another aircraft and had both went down, causing the UFOs to emit this massive explosion. Now, we aren't saying it was for sure an alien craft, since this is just a rumor. What we will say is that something for sure did crash in Tunguska, and what the crashed object was is truly unknown. The idea that it was a comet is speculation, just like the idea of it being a UFO is speculation. Nobody knows for sure what went on that day.
Now we want to get to a recent sighting which happened over Kowtown in Russia back in August of 2017. This person who submitted the sighting to MUFON wished to remain anonymous. The picture they took of it, which you're seeing here right now, was rather extraordinary and has left us stumped as to what it could be. The source wrote in his MUFON report, and I quote, "At night I took photos of the time lapse. In the morning I checked and saw a strange object. According to the list, there was nothing for launching missiles at that date. The snapshot, a photo with a 30-second exposure. It is certainly a very good and clear photo, and this is the sort of thing that we love to see in this line of work. We would love to hear your opinions on it down in the comments."
Finally, we have video footage reported to MUFON from a source in Brighton, Colorado, which completely blew us away. We will go ahead and play that footage for you right now.
We thought maybe these were possibly birds at first, as did the source, but under closer examination, these things appear to be glowing orbs flying in weird formations. The source saw this while driving, and in his words, again, this is another direct quote, "I parked my car and got out and started walking northwest and noticed orbs moving oddly in the sky. I pulled out my phone camera and started to record the phenomenon. They were reflective on one side, dark on the other. I continued to video for about 40 seconds until I put my phone away as the object started to disappear. formations would break off from the original formation and move very quickly towards the west across the sky with other objects chasing behind. I at first thought the object was birds until I saw how quickly they were moving and how they stayed together in formation very high in the sky. I was not scared, but I didn't know how to feel. It was something I have never witnessed before. All I could do was look on in awe. Truly a mysterious case indeed, and we simply have no idea what this could have been. We aren't going to say these are alien crafts, but what we will say is that for now they are genuine UFOs. Please, again, let us know what you think down in the comments, guys. And we'll be leaving the MUFON case numbers to both the Russian and Colorado sightings down in the video description.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most importantly of all, subscribe to our channel. And tap that notification bell. It would really help us out. And we definitely appreciate it. We will try to get a new video out every day and keep you guys as up to date on the alien phenomenon as possible. And on everything going on in space, and on Earth. Till next time, this is Richard and Sid with Alien Bros. We hope you have a great rest of your day, and don't forget to check out our other videos. Toodles!